Archangel Michael says, the number was saved at night, during a moment you would have never imagined. It wasn't by accident. It was deliberate, silent, and full of hidden intention. The person who saved it didn't want to talk immediately, but they needed a way to hold on to you, just in case. They didn't tell anyone. Not even the people closest to them knew they had your number in their phone. Locked behind a code, hidden under a disguised name. And every day since they saved it, they re-looked at it in silence, fingers trembling, thoughts racing. This was someone you once trusted, someone you shared either a moment or a memory with. But they didn't reveal how much you impacted them. Now they've begun watching you again from a distance, waiting for something only they understand. They know things they were never meant to know. Not because you told them, but because they went searching for clues. Now they're replanning something quietly, all connected to the moment they secretly saved your number. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There's a strange energy around this person. Every time they see your name flash across a screen or hear your voice somewhere, something in them stirs. They've kept silent, but that silence has become heavy with intent. They don't want to lose you forever. They're not sure how to say what they feel or even if they should. But the number in their phone is like a secret doorway to a truth they never confessed. You've been on their mind more than you would believe. They've come close to dialing you several times, thumb hovering over your name, breath held in suspense, but always pulling back at the last second. Their heart is louder than their logic, and that scares them. They weren't supposed to feel this much. They weren't supposed to hold on to your memory this long, yet here they are secretly attached, unwilling to delete your number or the moments that came with it. Type Amen to get blessing 682. There's a photo of you too. It's buried deep in their gallery, hidden in a folder they don't show anyone. It's not just your number, they saved your essence. Every time they scroll past it, their heart twists. You become more than just a contact in their device, you've become an unanswered chapter, and they're wondering if it's time to open the book again. Archangel Michael says, they made a decision on the night they saw something that changed how they viewed you. That's when they saved the number full of mixed emotions they didn't know how to name. It wasn't about curiosity. It was more than that. It was the desire to keep you within reach. Even if they couldn't talk to you, they needed the comfort of knowing they could. Type Amen to get blessing 410. Someone warned them to stay away from you. But what they feel won't go away that easily. So they kept the number, like a flame flickering in the corner of a dark room. They've been writing messages they never sent. Long paragraphs raw with emotion, then deleted before they could hit send. They read your name, then close their eyes, trying to imagine if you even remember them. Your energy haunts them in a way they can't explain. You have no idea the spiritual grip you left on their soul. It's as if they carry a version of you everywhere they go, and they're afraid to let go. They check your status, your profile, your activity, silently. No comments, no likes, no messages, only silent watching and quiet hoping. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They saw you recently. You didn't see them, but they saw you. And their hands clenched so tight their phone almost fell. That was the moment they realized they hadn't moved on at all. Someone else is in their life, but they're still carrying you. It's unfair but true. Your number was supposed to be deleted, but it never was. Archangel Michael says, this person is planning something on a specific date, connected to your last memory together. They believe you'll understand if the timing is right. They've written your name on paper under their pillow. Strange, but real. They believe keeping that paper close will somehow help them dream of you more clearly. Type Amen to get blessing 991. Someone close to you suspects something is off. They've even noticed this person watching you. But you haven't seen the danger or the passion hiding behind those quiet stares. There's a car that passed by your place multiple times. They weren't lost. They were checking to see if they still felt something when they got close to you. Your number is saved under a name only they understand. Not your real name, not your full one, but a word that means everything to them. Because it reminds them of a moment you've forgotten. They think you've changed. They're watching you shine, succeed, evolve. And they're both proud and broken, knowing they lost a chance. Type Amen to get blessing. 568. They try to spell once yes really, to forget you. It didn't work. They went through pictures, old messages, then tried to block you. But they unblocked you just hours later, telling themselves it was just in case. You are the just in case. They can't escape. Their closest friend knows you're still in the picture, not physically, but spiritually. They hear your name even when you're not spoken of. Archangel Michael says, you're protected from any harm. But you deserve to know when someone is still holding on like this. Because sometimes obsession hides behind the mask of love. Type Amen to get blessing 848. They have a box. A small box with a few things they associate with you. Your name is not on it, but your spirit is all over it. There's a piece of paper inside with your number written by hand. It's a backup, just in case they lose their phone. They want no excuse to lose contact forever. They believe in signs, and you've been showing up in their life more lately. Songs, dreams, colors, you're the whisper that won't quiet down. They've seen someone else get close to you and it crushed them. You didn't notice their reaction. But they noticed everything. Type Amen to get blessing 217. You are someone they consider the one who got away. Not because of drama but because of silence. Because they never said what they needed to when it mattered. They're praying for a moment where destiny will let your paths cross again. They want to talk but don't know what to say. So they've turned your number into a secret hope. There was a day they cried, just holding the phone, looking at your number, aching for the courage to call, but they chose silence again. And in that silence, they grew attached to the idea of you more than the reality. Their mind built memories that were never spoken out loud. But their heart lived through them all. Type Amen to get blessing 305. They even showed someone your picture. Said you were just someone they used to know, but their voice cracked when they said it. They tried to pretend, but the truth was visible. You are more than a memory. You are a scar they wear with longing, and their phone locked with your number is a vault of unspoken truth. You are being guided now to discern energy. This person's energy is mixed with longing, pain, and an unshakable connection. They want back in but haven't found the strength. Archangel Michael says, you may feel unexpected emotions at random moments because they are thinking of you hard. The connection is spiritual, mental, and emotional. Type Amen to get blessing 924. Someone you once comforted is now craving to comfort you. They believe they owe you something, and they've told the universe they're ready to return. They might show up when you least expect it, with a simple message or a coincidence too perfect to be random. When that moment comes, your heart will know. But you are not obligated to accept them. You are free, yet it's important you know that your number, your voice, your essence, it still lives inside them. You are unforgettable. Not because of what you did, but because of how you made them feel. Now that feeling is searching for a second chance. Type Amen to get blessing 617. They may try to reach out soon, but it will be vague, cautious, indirect, because even now, they are afraid of your silence. You don't owe them a reply, but you do deserve to understand what's going on. You are divinely protected from manipulation and illusion. This person has hidden you in their world for a reason only your spirit can reveal. And when they finally make the move, remember this message. The number saved was never just digits. It was a silent thread tied between two timelines, yours and theirs. Type Amen to get blessing 812. They once typed your number into another phone, just in case they ever lost their own. They couldn't bear the idea of losing you completely. That's how serious it was for them. Even if you walked away, they never let you go. You were kept in their devices, memories, dreams, and journals. A journal entry you'll never see is filled with your name. They wrote it on a page where they asked the universe for another chance, but they weren't brave enough to send it to you. This person's guilt is growing louder, because the silence between you has become too heavy. And they're hoping that somehow, fate will forgive them. Type Amen to get blessing 456. They saw your smile recently, in a post or maybe in a memory. And for a moment they forgot to breathe. You're not just a name or a number anymore, you are a storm inside their chest. They've become obsessed with what you're doing now. They follow your updates from fake accounts. They read into your words, imagining you're speaking directly to them. There was a night they called your number and hung up. No words, no message, just a silent listen to your voice on the other side of the phone. They've done it more than once, and each time their hands shook, because hearing you, even for a second, was like oxygen. Type Amen to get blessing 974. There's a mirror in their home with your photo taped behind it. They say it's for good luck, but it's really because they want you close. You are the only person who ever truly understood them. They can't delete your number no matter how hard they try. They've tried many times, always stopping just before the final step. Because that delete button feels like a funeral. Archangel Michael says, there's no accident in how this person holds on to you. Some connections are sown in the spiritual realm before you even meet. They will reach out in a way that seems casual. But make no mistake, it will be planned, calculated, and full of hope. They believe this time, things will be different. Type Amen to get blessing 294. You may notice unknown numbers calling and hanging up. Don't dismiss them so quickly. This person, so quickly. The person is testing the waters. They are afraid you've moved on. But more than that, they're afraid you've forgotten. That's their biggest fear, to be forgotten by someone they remember every single day. They once wrote a message to your name and sent it to themselves, just to imagine what it would feel like if you replied. That message still lives in their drafts. They have dreams where you forgive them. where you both sit in silence and say everything with your eyes. They wake up crying, whispering your name in the dark. Type Amen to get blessing 822. There's someone in their life who suspects something. They've noticed how this person looks at your name when it appears, and jealousy is growing like fire in secret. This person saved your number not out of madness but out of longing. It was their way of saying, I can't lose this. Even if the world told them to let go, they still remember the sound of your laughter. They've played it back in their head so many times it haunts them. You were their calm in chaos, and now they feel like they are drowning without that calm. But still, they remain quiet, watching, waiting, trembling. Type Amen to get blessing 665. There's a bracelet on their wrist that you once complimented. They wear it every day like a connection to you. Even others have noticed they won't take it off. They won't admit it. But their heart still races every time your name is mentioned. It's been long, but the feeling hasn't faded. They wrote a song, a poem, or even a letter about you. They've never shared it, but it sits there, a personal confession of a soul that's still holding on. Archangel Michael says, you are loved beyond measure by the heavens, but also secretly by a soul here on earth, and that soul may shock you. Type Amen to get blessing 120. When they see your reflection in others, they pause. It happens in crowds, in voices, in music. They're not hallucinating, they're aching. You became a part of their heartbeat, and though they tried to numb it, it only grew stronger. Because souls don't forget what souls remember. They visited a place that reminded them of you. They sat there, alone, staring into the past. Your number was saved again that day, just in case. They've made deals with themselves. If I see their name again, I'll reach out. But fear wins every time. Type Amen to get blessing 507. You are the what if that can't escape. And even if they smile on the outside, inside they're breaking. Because you were real, and everything else now feels like plastic. They believe you're better off without them. That's why they haven't called. But they watch, hoping for a sign that says otherwise. You are more powerful than you know. Your energy changed someone's life, and now they are silently orbiting your universe, afraid to fall in again. There's a storm coming, one of truth, of sudden revelations. And this person may finally say what they've buried for too long. Type Amen to get blessing 338. They know you deserve clarity, and even though they can't say it directly, everything they've done points to one truth. They never stopped loving you. They see your face in their future. Even if it's just a fantasy they whisper to themselves at night. Your number is the symbol of that fragile hope. Archangel Michael says, prepare your heart, because a moment is coming when this person will reveal their truth, and it will explain every silence, every delay, every unanswered question in your heart. They may appear suddenly, on your screen, or in a place where you least expect it. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You'll know them by their energy. Familiar, soft, intense, almost like a heartbeat from the past. And in their eyes you'll see the 1,000 unsent messages. They're not just holding on to a number. They're holding on to a version of you that loved them, and they want to meet that version again. Their life changed after you, and now they're hoping you still feel pulse when they say your name. Because they're about to say it, and when they do, it won't be small. It will be full of trembling honesty, and you'll remember everything. Type Amen to get blessing 553. Your number being saved was never about the digits. It was about the memory of a soul connection. One that still lingers like the scent of a dream. They are coming. Not just physically but emotionally, spiritually, truthfully. Because something inside them knows. They cannot live without knowing what could have been. And when they do, You'll feel it in your chest. A sudden pull. A recognition deeper than logic. You're being watched. But not by harm, by hope. By someone who kept you in their pocket while the world moved on. Type Amen to get blessing 417. They don't want to interrupt your life, but they also don't want to live with the regret, so they saved your number as their final anchor. They believe fate will work it out. And maybe, just maybe, this message is part of that fate. 2. Prepare your heart for a love that was hidden, not lost. The call may come when you least expect it, with a shaking voice saying your name, or a message that feels like a sunrise. Archangel Michael says, when you see it, when you feel it, pause, because that moment will carry a lifetime inside it. Type Amen to get blessing 760. The moment they saved your number, the energy in the room shifted. It was late, quiet, and their heart felt something they hadn't felt in years. Hope. Not hope for a reunion, but hope that maybe your light hadn't faded from their life forever. They lit a candle that night, whispering your name under their breath. No one heard it but the angels. But it was said with such emotion, even the wind paused outside their window. They've become more spiritual since you left their life. They've started seeking answers in places they used to ignore. But all paths keep leading them back to you. They hear a voice in their dreams sometimes, a voice that sounds like yours but wiser, softer, deeper. It calls them to be brave, to speak, to reach out, to confess. Type Amen to get blessing 627. You think they forgot you, but they didn't. You think you're just a closed chapter, but you're the cover of the entire book. And every time they try to read something new, it never compares to what they had with you. They bought a new phone once and thought maybe that was the time to let you go. They didn't. They manually typed your number in again, not even trusting the cloud to do it. They're haunted by the thought of you loving someone else. They imagine someone else making you laugh. And it stings in a place no medicine can reach. They want to be strong enough to walk away. But their strength collapses at the sound of your name, and so they stay, silent, watching, waiting. Type Amen to get blessing 741. They've read over old chats again. Not because they're stuck, but because it's the only place your words still live. They smile at the memories and ache at the final message. Archangel Michael says, you are not just missed, you are mourned. Because even though you live in their world, the version of you they loved is like a ghost. This isn't just longing. This is divine connection. It's the kind of bond that doesn't break, it stretches across time. Even when they tried to forget you, life reminded them. In strangers' faces, in half-heard songs and scents that brought tears. You are the root of a tree they never stopped watering in their heart. Type Amen to get blessing 383. They once searched your name online at 3 a.m. hoping you were still reachable, still visible, still real. And when they saw you happy, something in them shattered, quietly. They want to say they're proud of you. They want to say you've become everything they always believed you'd be. But they wonder if they're even allowed to speak that truth. They saved your number to stay near you, spiritually. They saved your number to stay near you, spiritually. Believe just having it close keeps their soul grounded. They feel lost without that connection, even if it's never used. They watched you grow stronger, you became everything they couldn't be, and it left them humbled, but still, they hope, because hope doesn't need permission to survive. Type Amen to get blessing 918. There's a location they visit sometimes, not because they expect to see you, but because your memory still echoes in that place. They've written draft messages every birthday, every milestone, every moment when the silence felt like punishment. You haven't just been saved in their phone, you've been saved in their prayers, repeated, rewritten, whispered. You are a fire that never went out. And even if they've been walking through darkness, that fire lights a corner of their soul. The warmth is still yours. Type Amen to get blessing 131. They once showed a photo of you to someone new. Not to compare, but because they couldn't hide you. You are the standard no one else could match. They stare at your initials sometimes carved somewhere private. They thought time would erase the pain, but time only taught them how deep it goes. Archangel Michael says, there is going to be a divine confrontation between silence